Hello and welcome to today's webinar on ISO 9001 Management System. My name is Siavosh and I'm research developer in Inspeed Global. Today, Dr. Ahmed will be covering ISO 9001 Management System. Before we begin, let me introduce Inspeed Global, who we are, and what we do. Alright, Inspeed Global IG is a worldwide conformity assessment body accredited by the American Accreditation Association AAA accreditation and Perry Johnson Laboratories accreditation PJLA, offering different services. So what we do, proficiency test, which is PT, personal certification, management system certification, ISO 9001 software, consultancy, and training services. Our mission, Inspeed Global's mission, is to spread worldwide awareness and improve the competencies of humans in reaching high-quality standards in different work and life scopes through educating, training, and certification. Our commitment to quality helps us enable individuals and institutions reach higher goals on personal and corporate levels while improving the overall standards of life and work. Our message and CEO message is people deserve better quality, and that is why we are um, basically trying to implement ISO 9001, all the management system quality assurance. And our vision is becoming one of the top 5 worldwide conformity assessment bodies by 2030 through focusing on the improvement of quality and competencies of work, health, psychological well-being for individuals and institutions. All right. So today, Dr. Ahmed will be carrying on with the presentation. I hope he is available right now. So just 1 second, I will.
Good morning all and assalamu alaikum. My name is Ahmed Saad. Just some information about myself in brief. My basic graduation is Faculty of Science, Chemistry and Biology. Then I got a professional diploma in Total Quality Management from American University in Cairo. Then I got master degree in Quality Management System, then a PhD in Quality Management System, Quality Assurance, and Statistical Quality Control. I'll be with you today for this webinar about ISO 9001, which will describe what are the ISO 9001, what's the ISO, what the quality, and what are the clauses, main clauses of the ISO 9001, and how can we implement in shortly. So may I leave at end of this session some time for any question or clarification required, and I'll ask my colleague to make all mics unmuted. So I'm going now to share my screen with you. Hopefully you can see it now. Any comment, please, Mr. Siavosh, please tell me if it's not clear. So I'll start with definition of quality. What's the quality? Why I'll start from this word or from this definition, because this is the basic of this meeting. This is the reason behind our session today. We are going to discuss a tool in quality, which is ISO 9001. So what's the quality? There are many definitions for quality, starting from fitness of use and the degree of excellence, and there are a lot of definitions. But best one of them will be meet or exceed customer satisfaction. So it means that we will not think about your idea, about your thinking, about your beliefs in quality. For example, if you think that quality is producing high specs product or high specs, let us say service, for example, if you are provide service or quality, so you are wrong. This is not the real meaning of the quality, because I'll give you a small example. If you are producing uh, mobiles, for example, and you are you like the red color, so you will produce red color for this government or for this particular, because you think this is the best color of the mobiles. But this area, or this the population in this area, they don't like this color. Their concept, they like, for example, the black one, because this is more respective color, and so you will not buy, you will not sell any pieces, or you will sell few pieces, because even you provided this mobile with a lot of specs and high quality material, and we can say whatever you want, okay, but still you didn't meet the customer satisfaction, the customer needs, the customer requirements. While if you will produce less specs, less material, but meeting their satisfaction, then they will be more happy, because they will not use the mobile as a football to play a football with it, with this, for example. They don't need that heavy material. This is another example. If you will produce a steel mobile which made by stainless steel, for example, this very strong material, but it will be very heavy mobile, and this will not meet mobile customer satisfaction. We have a lot of examples. For example, if we are thinking only about the material, I don't know if you know the car, which the brand name of this car, Lada. Lada is very strong car, very very strong. This is a Russian car, and if crushed in the wall will be damaged and collapse, and the car will still as it is. So, but still, if you want to buy a car, then you will go to something else, Toyota or Hyundai or something. Why you will not select that car? Because there is no a lot of option in this car. This is a very let us say hard car, and so this is not your need. So according to your needs, according to your expectation, according this, how will we meet your satisfaction? This is the real definition of the quality. So usually, please think always about your customer, your interested parties, what they need, how you will meet this, then you will meet his satisfaction. This is the definition of the quality. So what's the ISO, and what's the relation between quality and ISO? This is a real picture for scientific groups. This group, we will talk in the next slide about this group, but just remember this picture, which taken in London on 1946. 25 countries delegated 65 technical committees, experts, to discuss what? To discuss the future of international standardization. At that time, there is nothing called ISO. There is nothing called organization which manage the quality, and so they just discuss how we will sustain the standardization. How can we create some common standards, and all organizations agreed on that. They continue discussion about that issue for 1 year. Then next year, the International Organization for Standardization, which is ISO organization, officially comes. So as independent non-governmental organization. So after 1 year of that meeting, the first release of not release, let us say the organization comes to existence. Then you have to know that ISO, ISO as words, it is not related to International Organization for Standardization. Otherwise, it should be IOS, but actually it is ISO. There is no relation, by the way, there is no relation between ISO and the name of International Organization for Standardization, because actually ISO, this is a word which in Greek language it means equal. So they selected this ISOs, which mean equal in Greek language as the name of this organization. So keep this just on your mind. Then from 47 to 51, it means 4 years. After 4 years, they released the first standard. And at that time, it doesn't call standard, but they called it as recommendation. Today, the members of this organization, instead of 65 from 25 countries, there are 163 countries, and each country delegate representing members, maybe one, maybe three, maybe five, it depends on in this organization. And we have, instead of one recommendation or one standard, which released in 1951, today we have less than 20,000 international standards, which in different fields such as food safety, personal safety, environmental, energy, and a lot of lab accreditation, ISO 17025 for lab, 17025, 17020 for inspection body, and so. And one of these standards is ISO 9001, which is quality management system, and this is our discussion today. So why do we need ISO as a general? We will have a reduction in the waste, and accordingly we will save a money for that. So how that will happen? Because once you will implement the ISO requirements, then accordingly you will not repeat the mistake. You will produce the best product or service from first time. You will take preventive action, you will take corrective action for your mistakes, for your defects, then it will not be repeated, then you will save a money. And you will also improve or enhance your reputation, company or organization reputation, because you got certification. Also, you will be able to manage and monitoring your processes in effective way, and it will be effective process. It means it will give the expected output. You will be also, by implementing ISO, you will be able to access to the new markets, because you get this accreditation, so international trades, it will be more easy for you. And according to ISO requirements, you have to maintain records for each process, for each activity. It means whenever we will have a customer complaint, it will be recorded, then we can find the history, then we can take action, then we can improve ourselves. We will be also able to avoid the potential defect in the future, because we will conduct internal audits on regular time. We will have a risk-based thinking to define the potential risk in the future. Then we will take a mitigation action to reduce this risk. So according to that, we will improve and will have continual improvement for our system, especially that we will have a review, regular review for the system. What I said now, it's related to implementing ISO requirements. Can I implement ISO without getting the certification? Yes, you can. You can just implement this ISO system and without getting the certification. How can I do that? You can read more about ISO or ask for any consultants to help you to provide this, to implement this system, create a documentation system and implement that. Will it be useful for you? Definitely yes. But will you get the maximum, the optimum benefits? No. you will still miss the certificate. What's the benefit of the certificate? It will have impact in external and internal. So for external, when you will get a certificate of ISO 9001, it mean it means that for customer, you improved customer satisfaction and you will have a competitive edge. You can enter to the market and face the competitors, and you have a strong point. And you will also reduce the number of customer audits. There is no need for the customer to audit you on regular basis because he knows that you are certified. Then internally, you will have a better documentation, you have great quality awareness, you have positive culture change. The people will start to change their culture, change their mind. They will see the certificate on the wall, so they will abide to the system and enhance it communication at final. So, as my colleague said before continue, just for this point, IG or Inspeed, we provide the certification for ISO 9001 because we are accredited from American accreditation to provide this certification. Okay, what is the ISO family? We said at the beginning it is ISO 9001. This is the certification, but there is ISO called ISO 9000 and ISO 9002 and ISO 9001, ISO 1004, 9004. So what are the differences between them? ISO 9000, this is definitions of the term, just definitions. ISO 9001, this is the requirements that you will implement to get the certificate. ISO 9002, this is a guideline for application, how we will implement, what kind of applications. ISO 9004, this is a guide on how to achieve sustained success. So which one of these family that I'll get the certificate when I'll implement, it will be only ISO 9001. Okay, ISO 9001 is looking for quality management system. It means it is not specific in particular field, for example, in food industry or manufacturing or construction field or whatever, or special service, but it is general quality management system. So anyone can implement in his organization, whatever the organization, regardless to the size of your organization, regardless to the field of your organization. You can implement ISO 9001. According to that, people call this standard as the mother of standards because this which can anyone implement. While, for example, 14,000, this is environmental only or environment requirements. It means the organization which will have impact on the environment, they will implement this only. While, for example, 45,001, this is safety for the safety, and the organization which will have impact or will be affected by safety reasons or for safety tools, and there is a kind of the risk in this organization, safety risk, then they will implement 45 1000. And so, and a third example, the laboratories which implement 17025, this is for the lab accreditation, the scope only for the lab, but another organizations can't implement unless they have a lab. The only standard which anyone can implement is ISO 9001. So the clauses in this standard, it will be common with other standards. And by the way, when there is any change in this standard, ISO 9001, then accordingly, all other standards will be changed to follow this ISO 9001. So let us go in deep more and talk about the clauses of this standards. from point of view of act, plan, check, do, or bedka cycle. So, as all of us know, that any system will start with planning for the system. Just plan. What shall I do? How will I do that? What kind of resources that I need? And so. So in this plan for Bedka cycle, the ISO 9001 will cover clause 4 context of organization. We'll talk more about that in the next slide. Will then the leadership for this the leadership requirements and their rules. We are doing that during the planning phase and the planning itself. Context of the organization, this is something related to the internal and external issues that will have impact on your business. I have to define these issues before start my system, before start my business. So I have to define the issues which will have impact on my organization. Then what are the rules of the leadership? Who will take the leadership? Who will be I have to distribute the responsibilities and the authorities, then conduct the planning. Clause 4, clause 5, clause 6. Then now I have a clear plan. Can I implement? Yes. I need a support to do. I need a support. What kinds of support? This would be clause number 7. Then I will implement. This is the operations. This is your core business. After implementing the system, I have to check. So clause number 9, performance evaluation to evaluate what I have implemented. According to this evaluation, may I take some actions as a corrective or preventive, or I just continue as it is? This will be act and clause number 10, which is improvement. You can observe that we started the clauses from 4. What's about 1, 2, 3? So 1 is the scope, clause 2 is the reference, clause 3 is terms and definitions. Hopefully it's clear. More details will be available in this slide. So let us go in details and we'll start to talk about clause number 4, because as we said a few minutes ago that clause 1, 2, 3, these are not requirements to implement. But clause 4, this you will start the implementation from clause 4, context of the organization. As I told you, you have to understanding the organization and its context and what are the internal issues and external issues, the factors that will have impact on your business, whatever your business. You have to define that factors. You have to define that issues. Then you have to understand the needs and the expectation of who interested parties. I will not use again word of customer. This is in the old version. Of in the new version of this ISO 9001, which is 2015, we will use this word interested parties, which means your customer, your supplier, your stakeholder, the owners, the public, the government, the regulators, all of these are interested parties. So I have to understand their needs. I have to define what will be my scope that I'll implement for ISO 9001, and what are the main what are the main processes that I will follow. So all of these are under clause of 4, context of organizations. Once I define that, I'll move to leadership and commitment. We must start with top management commitment. Without top management commitment in your organization for ISO, you will not be able to implement anything and the system will not be effective. So before go to the do, before implement the system, we must get commitment from the top management system. They must issue a quality policy define what is the objective of this system and why we are doing that in the quality policy, and they have to sign on this policy. So the top management and other staff, all organization will abide to quality policy. And finally, for the leadership, I have to define the rules and responsibilities and authorities in this organization through job descriptions, through organization chart, and all of these tools. Then I'll move to clause number 6, which is talking about planning for the QMS or quality management system. I have to address any risk that will be potential risk. I have to address that risk, and I have to define the source of the risk, take mitigation action to reduce this or to control this risk. I have to do that on regular basis. I have to create a risk management or risk assessment sheet. And by the way, if this team need another session regarding to risk management, we can do that also. We can make a webinar about how to evaluate your risk, how to measure, how to what kind of tools, what's the sheet, and all of this we can do. So you can leave any request after that meeting. Let us continue. And we're still talking about the planning for the quality management system after defining the potential risk and define the risk owner and take the action. I have to define the quality objectives. What are the objectives for the quality department and for other departments? Not only for the quality, I said, and for other departments, for all processes, for all activities, I must work versus clear objectives that I can later on, when we'll go to the last clause, we will evaluate our performance versus these objectives. Have we met these objectives or not? And before any change will occur, any change will have impact on this system, I must have a planning for this change. I must have a plan, a procedure for control the change with a form, for example, with a request for any change will be required, who this change required by whom, and who will control this change, what kinds of resources required for this change. Then I'll move forward to do. This is the implementing the system. Then to implement the system, I must have a support. So what kind of support? I need a resources. Could be personal resource, could be equipment, could be environmental conditions, or could be money, could be training. All of these are required resources. How will I get that? Because I got commitment from top management. Then I need a competence, and competence here we are talking about not only training for the people, but we talk about skills of the people. We talk about training, education, experience, knowledge. All of these are competence. So we must have a competent person or competent team, competent staff to implement the system. And they must be aware about this system, and we must have a channel for communication between this team. Then finally, documented information. It means every important activities, it will be described in procedure, and we have to maintain a record for that. So documented information, this it means the procedures and records. Now I have to implement the system. So planning for this operation and how I will control your procedure, not procedure, I'm talking about the process, the core process, manufacturing or whatever. Then determination of requirements for products and service which you are producing. Then design There is a clause for the design. How will we plan for the design? How will we implement the design? The control of design. Then control externally provided products and services. This is it, which in the old version of ISO 9001 we call this as supplier, but here we will not call more as a supplier, but external provider. How will I control the external provider? Because this is important parameter in my process. If he will provide defected raw materials for my process, then I'll be in troubles and I'll face a lot of customer complaint and a lot of rejection in my on my line or factory, and so then we'll talk about production, or the ISO 9001 talks about production and service provision. Then release product and service, because now we produced already the product. Then if it is non-conforming product, how I will control this output. After do or after implement these requirements, I have to check, I have to make evaluation for the performance. So through monitoring and make analysis measurement for all processes that I have, conduct internal audits, management review meeting, which must be conducted usually once per year, maybe twice per year if you want. The standard didn't define the frequency of this MRM or management review meeting. Even for the internal audit, you must have a plan, but what the frequency, it depends on the complexity of the process and the history of findings for this activity. So according to that, you can increase the frequency of for this activity or for this process, or you can reduce. And finally, we will move to close number 10, which is regarding to improvement and how we can control the non-conformity and take corrective action, and how we can con- have continual improvement. These are all the clauses and what are the requirements for each clauses. This is the same but with another way. Scope, this is what we said, and reference, definitions. Then we started from clause number 4, context of organization, leadership, clause 5, then clause 6, planning, support, which includes the resources, operation, this is your process, then performance evaluation to check what I did, then finally improvement. Now, at end of this session and before opening the door for any discussion, how can you implement? I give a lot of ideas during this webinar, like something like job descriptions and organization chart and quality policy and all of this details. I know that the time is not enough to explain all of tools, but generally you can implement this system either manually by creating a documents, or using your laptop to maintain these procedures, or more advanced to use a software for implementing this system. IG provide a free software without any cost. If you will get a certificate by IG, then you can get free software for implementation. What this software? The software, it will include all these requirements in this software. So once you will open the software, you will find a requirement for example, for context for organization with the requirements of that. So you will just use this to once you implement the software, or you will use this software. It means that you implemented this ISO 9001 requirements. Another example, you will find a tab for internal audit in this software. So the internal audit in the software, you will just define who will be the auditor and what will be the audited area according to the software. He will ask you to do that. Once you did, then all the auditors and auditees will receive automated email with the reminder that you will have audit on this particular. The software will send these emails. Then on the day of the audit, you will conduct the audit, and there is a form in the software to record your report, and this report and findings will be sent also automatically by the software to the auditees and the auditor, and so the software will cover all requirements in a very easy way without need for manual and a lot of papers and a lot of procedures. You will not need all of that. If anyone need the software or certification to get certification by IG, he can also send a request to Mr. Sevosh. And finally, I'd like to say thanks for all, and please, Mr. Sevosh, make them unmute for receiving any question or any comments. I'll be under your disposal for answering that.
All right. All the microphone is already on, and
Okay.
Dr. Ahmed, I think you're already you're still sharing your screen.
Okay, I'll close that.
Yes. All right. Okay. If anybody has any question, you can ask here, or maybe you can message later, or you can message in a group right now. So I assume there is no question, I think.
Okay, okay,
All right. So I will keep in touch with them by email. Okay, there is no question. They are saying, all right. We hope to hear from everyone again. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed.
okay. Thank you. Okay, thanks to all, and nice to meet you. And I'll be in contact with you at any moment. And yes, I got a question from Mr. Amir Suhail. Do we have ISO 17025 training? Yes, definitely. Yes, we have. And this one of our field, which we are working in, lab accreditation. And we have, yes, ISO 17025 training, and as well as we provide proficiency testing in this field. We also accredited 17043 for as a BT provider also. So yes, my answer is yes. Any more clarification or question? Okay. However, till that moment, I'll be in contact with you at any moment. You can contact me. You can ask me even for free consultation, for free questions, for anything you need, either regarding to ISO 9001 or 17025, 17020, 45001, and all of these common standards. So I can provide whatever you need regarding to training or consultation or whatever you need. Okay. Thanks to all. And if there is no more question, then we have to close this session. Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you. And see you inshallah in next webinar. We will have a lot of webinars. You can define whatever kind of webinar you need, and according to subject we can define that next session what will be. So just be in contact with us. On behalf of IG, I have to say to all of you thanks, and see you inshallah in next webinar. And assalamu
إن شاء
alaikum.
الله.